Okay, so today what I'm going to do, kind of like last week where I did the top 5 favorite sets, this week I'm going to do my bottom 5, my least favorite sets of all time. And starting out here with number 5, we have Paletine Shuttle. Had a lot of hopes for this set when I first heard they were going to do it. I'm a big fan of all the shuttles, all kind of the Imperial Republic shuttles. And I was kind of hoping they'd do a lot more than they ended up doing with this set. It's not really a great color, first of all. It's kind of just a bland gray. Cockpit's very small. You do get a pretty cool minifigure with it for the pilot. But not a whole lot going on. It doesn't look very good aesthetically. You get these kind of goofy looking short cannons up in the front, right there, which is also kind of a huge letdown just because of the Republic attack shuttle had the guns on that look a lot cooler. And then you get this really long cannon in the back. And the way it's set up is it sits, it kind of swings side to side, and then you can turn it, but it tends to kind of jolt and get off angle just because of that design of that hinge. And then when you get inside here, pull these pins up. There we go. Yeah. Like so. And the whole roof just kind of falls off. Not a whole lot of design, really. The only other cool thing is you do get a medical droid right there. But the whole ship is dedicated to this one gimmick where you put the helmet on Anakin to Darth Vader. And that's kind of it. There's really nothing else to it. There's not even like flick fire missiles or anything else. You just get 2 seats and then you can put his helmet on. But in order to put his helmet on, you have these big bars that stick out of the back. So it's just kind of annoying to have that hang out the back of the ship, especially when you have the roof put back on. What is going on here? There we go. So, I don't know, it just doesn't seem like a whole lot of thought went into this set. But it's not horrible, like I said, you get some cool minifigures. The burnt Anakin is the only set you can get, as well as the medical droid. But as you can see, even the back, it just has those big bars that stick out, just thanks to that helmet gimmick. So, I don't know, all in all, not a great set. I don't really buy a lot of sets that I think are going to be bad. So this one, didn't really think it was going to be that bad, but turns out it is. So there is that. That's number 5. So I will go get number 4, my 4th least favorite set, and I'll be right back. So here we have my 4th least favorite set. It is the Sith Infiltrator, 2nd generation. First of all, kind of ugly. I know the vehicle itself from the movie isn't that great of a looking set or ship, but this one's just very chunky. Kind of looks swollen. It comes to a flat end here at the front instead of being a point. It's not very well thought out in design. It has the old flick fire missiles which just fall out all the time because they don't have a nub on the end of them. So whenever you move this set or try to play with it, the missiles will just fall out eventually thanks to gravity. There's not a whole lot of design on the underside of these little flaps either. It's falling off already. It's just very bland. So when you have these up, it just doesn't look very good. What's this thing doing? It's just falling apart on me. So I don't know. I mean, it's not a whole lot of thought put into that. Also, here in the back, his little scooter that he sits on, Darth Maul sits on. Doesn't sit very well inside the cockpit. You kind of have to just get it to a certain point where it'll stay put, and then hope it closes. And in the back here, doesn't really have an engine, just has a sticker of an engine, so it doesn't look very completed in the back. That's annoying. And then the storage up front, the whole thing just comes off. There's nothing to stop it from falling off. So that is very irritating. It just eventually falls and hits the ground there. So there's that. And then you get these little probe droids or spy droids or whatever. And the really irritating thing for me is that these lightsaber blades are actually stored on the outside of the vehicle, which seems really lazy to me because there's probably enough space on the inside anyways. So it just seems really lazy that they would do that. There's no point to having them on the outside anyways because you already have these ones. So, I don't know, it's just very lazy in design. But the landing gear folds up nicely. So that's that. So if you want a set with just like good landing gear, definitely get the second generation Sith Infiltrator. You can see how chunky it looks from this angle. Doesn't really look as fat from this side, but if you look at it from the side profile, just a fat set. Like it's a lot thicker than it should be. It doesn't look as streamlined. So there is number 4. The new one, there is a new one coming out for summer 2011, and that one, in my opinion, doesn't look much better. So we'll see when it comes out. It comes out in like July or August, unless you're in Europe. So there's that one. I will get that's number 4. I will get the number 3 set right now. So my number 3 least favorite set is the Genos and Starfighter. It does come with a little turret and a guy, but I just want to focus on the vehicle today. First of all, as you can see, it doesn't really stand up. It falls over really easily. You can spin it and it will just tip over. I mean, I don't know why you'd spin it, but there's not much of a plane there, so they give you these kind of little flaps to keep it stable. But because they're on such a loose hinge, if you tip it, it moves the flaps, and then eventually you just get back to where you were. So it's not, the landing gear is not really strong enough to hold up the set and keep it in place because it sits on a very thin base. And then you have this ball turret up front, which is kind of goofy looking, and then an engine on the back. And then the actual, if you can call it a cockpit, the actual cockpit design is just a slot in the middle of the ship, and the minifigure has no controls and can't see out, and is just kind of jammed in there until, not even in there all the way now. You just kind of fit him in there, so you can't even get him to go back in. Get back in there. The only real upside of this set is that the Genosins are really, really rare. They're only ever in this set. There is a new version of this set coming out as well. It looks better, but I don't know. Still doesn't look that good. And the whole thing is kind of ugly too. Like, it's just an ugly color. It's tan with like this dirt orange with brown and gray, so it's just a really ugly color on top of a crappy set. So overall, this is not a good set at all. The only reason people would buy this is because it has the Genosins with it, because they're worth a little bit of money. So that is number 3, my 3rd least favorite set of all time. I will go get the number 2 least favorite right now, 2nd least favorite set of all time. So my 2nd least favorite set of all time is pretty new. I talked about this set in January, and it hasn't grown on me at all. It's actually gotten worse. So here it is. It is the T6 Jedi Shuttle. And first of all, it's $10 too expensive. If you watch my review of it, it is $10 more in the exact same pieces as the Bounty Hunter gunship. which came out with it. So right away, people like me wasted $10 extra in not buying that set. Well, I did buy that set, but like if you didn't buy it, this is kind of a waste. Again, the only really cool thing is you get 2 rare minifigures, not these ones. The other ones are in my room somewhere. But you just get these 2 guys, and the ship only holds 2 people, and it's called the Jedi Shuttle, and you get 4 Jedi. So that's really irritating that they would do that, because you just have 2 Jedi that just sit somewhere, or don't sit somewhere, I guess you could say. The cockpit is poorly designed. You only get 1 control. The other minifigure kind of has to lounge on top of the first one, as you can see, and then there's really no place for the lightsabers, so they just kind of have to lay on top of them. And then the whole thing is pretty huge. Like, if you see the space that it takes up, if you take the Genos and Starfighter, it's actually shorter across. Like, it's there. Let's do it this way. You can see the wingspan on this thing is huge. Like, it takes up a ton of space. So it's really irritating because the only real function of this whole set is the wing rotates. And first of all, we get to that. The underside, it has this landing gear, and this is the landing gear. And it looks like just some spare pieces that they left off. They didn't even really try to make it look like. If we go back to the attack shuttle, or the Paletine shuttle here, you can see the landing gear looks like it goes with the vehicle, and it folds up flat into the ship. And you can't really see it from the front profile position. But this is just stupid. Like, it's just a little bar that flips down, and all it does is barely catch the front end. So I don't know, it just seems lazy. Like, I don't know why. And if you flip it up, the whole thing just becomes front heavy, so you have to have it down. But anyways, the whole purpose of this set is that the wing rotates, and it rolls on this giant gear, and it's got a smaller gear underneath it right there, and then the outer gear is the huge one. And it's a really, really, really stiff joint, kind of for no reason. But I guess they don't want it rolling by accident, so it stays in profile. But if you leave it like that, it just looks like a fish. And you can't have it, you can't store it like that. You'd have to make some kind of stand for it. So you have to have it like this. And then again, it just takes up a ton of space on a shelf. So it's a real pain to kind of have. And then there's nothing else to this set. The wing rotates, and that's pretty much it. Except for you have flick fire missiles, one right there and one right there. And the only way to launch them is you have to push on the engine. The engine actually collapses in, which is pretty poor design, if you ask me. I don't know. I just think they could have done a better job. They could have put like a lever here or something, or a lever up top. And they could have used the space a lot better. There's nothing in here at all. It's just the beams to support the flick fire function. So I think if they moved that, they could have had some space for the extra Jedi, or I don't know, something. It's really stupid. And then the whole front comes off. It's supposed to be an escape pod. And the little blue dots right there are supposed to be the engine displacement for the escape pod. But I don't know, it's lazy. It's really lazy. I don't know why they came up with this vehicle or this design. It's only in the cartoon show, which is kind of lazy in and of itself, so I guess that makes sense. But it's not a good set. Don't buy this set. You could buy this and you'd still be okay. You could buy that and you'd be kind of angry. You don't want that. You really don't want this. Do not buy this set. It's not worth your time. If you really want the other figures, it comes with, what is her name? Jacques T. Jacques T is a great minifigure. If you really want that minifigure, just go on eBay. People sell them all the time. You can get her for like $5. And because it's a new set, it's really cheap to get her right now. She is the only redeeming quality of this entire set. And you don't even really need her. So if you really want that minifigure, just buy her off eBay or Bricklink or something. You don't need to buy the terrible T6 shuttle. So, just to recap, Palpatine's shuttle number 5, Sith Infiltrator 2nd generation number 4, Geonosis and Starfighter 1st generation number 3, T6 shuttle number 2, all of which not great. If you're going to buy one of these, Palpatine shuttle is probably the best out of the worst. And so the least favorite set, some of you may be guessing it by now, but I will go get it. Some of you guessed it last week when I said I was going to do a bottom 5, and you were right. It is, in fact, the Magna Starfighter, the worst set I own, and one of the worst sets in LEGO Star Wars history. First of all, you get 2 of these guys, and it's a pretty poorly designed minifigure if you ask me. All it is just one solid piece, including the cape piece on the side, and then you get an extra cape on the back. And it's a tiny... Okay, sorry about that. My camera decided that it was just gonna be out of battery. So, anyways, the minifigure itself is just really terrible. The heads are really tiny, and then it's just got that solid neck piece right there. And then it's just a standard droid kind of parts. The vehicle itself, first of all, it's just ugly. It's got these weird pod things on the side. They're supposed to be guns. There's no real engine on the back. The cockpit doesn't really close all the way because there's only space for one, and they have these capes, so when you fit them in here, first of all, someone suggested, why don't you take the cape off, but then where would I put the cape? So that doesn't work. Because it's not a regular minifigure, it doesn't have the spots for the studs. So, I mean, there's nothing on the butt side, so you have to kind of fit the cape in around. And then he doesn't really sit in there, so there's that. That's kind of weird. And then there's no actual controls, it's just a stick. The other thing that's weird is you have, for no reason, you have these little nubs right there that are supposed to open the cockpit, but I don't know why you need that, because I mean you could just open it like all the other vehicles. So it's really kind of weird that they decided to do that. And then on the back here, it's got this weird flick fire function, and you're supposed to flip it over like that, so you have the ship closed like that, and it's supposed to flip up and be like a reverse cannon, but you have to fire them from the back. But as you can see, when you go to hit your finger against it, it just pushes it down because the force pushes it forward more than pushes the missiles out. And if you do it really low like that, you can't actually get your finger into that space to push the missiles forward, so that doesn't work. And then for no reason whatsoever, these things lift up, and the only detail they give you are these really obscure stickers. So you're stuck with this huge panel that lifts up for no reason. Like, I don't know why. This panel is really, really tall. You can see even next to the shuttle, it's almost the height of the wing. So I really don't know why that lifts up. And then this is not part of the engine. This is the weapons they lift up and store here in the back. And that's supposed to be the weapon, the staffs that the Magna Guards use. So, all in all, this is just a terrible set. Like, there's nothing good about it. These aren't good minifigures to have. I don't know why you would want them. It doesn't really come with any cool pieces. It doesn't really do anything noteworthy. It's not worth it. Don't ever buy this set, in my opinion. Don't waste your time. Don't waste your money. I would not buy it. And in fact, I didn't buy it. Someone gave it to me. So, sorry, person who gave this to me. You know who you are, but it's not a good set. And it just has weird stickers too. Like, there's stickers there for no reason, and like the ones that are underneath here. So that is the worst set that I own. Definitely the Magna Starfighter. Definitely don't recommend buying it. This one I would only get the minifigure Jacques T That one's not really worth getting. This one's not worth getting. This one's okay. Honorable mentions for bottom 5, I'd say my 6th least favorite set is the new Slave 1, Boba Fett Slave 1. Although the minifigures are cool, Boba Fett and Bosk are really cool. If you watch my full review of that set, you'll see that the missile launcher function takes up a huge part of that set, and it makes it really difficult to kind of utilize the rest of that vehicle. It takes up way too much. So you can see full reviews of all these sets. Other sets I don't think are that great. The original Naboo Starfighter, I'm not huge on. There's a couple other ones that I'm not really thinking of right now, but these are the main ones. These are the worst of the worst. Last week I did the top 5. If you didn't get a chance to check that out, please do. Let me know what you think of my top 5 favorite sets. Next week, probably going to do some reshoots. Some of the videos I've done before had to be edited because I wasn't a YouTube partner. Like the Death Star review was in 3 parts, so I might reshoot the Death Star review at some point, just so it's in one big long video, just so you guys can see kind of a full beginning to end without having to switch videos. So there's that. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Feel free to let me know what you think of my choices. New reviews to come. Like I said, I'm still getting my car done, so a lot of money is going towards my car. And I'll tell you guys what it is when you see the video. Should be really hoping it'll be done within 2 weeks. That's the plan. That's what I'm hearing right now. So within 2 weeks, you guys should be seeing what my car is and hopefully enjoying that. So there's that for you guys. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next Thursday.